loosen my belt.
Doesn't that feel nice though? Jesus. Sometimes.
Well, it's because I'm too fat, so it'll stab me in the stomach if it's too tight. Like if I'm walking around, like I'm the level of fat where if I'm walking around, I have to have a different belt tightness for standing versus sitting.
Really?
Like if I'm walking around, it needs to be a little bit tighter.
You got a sports mode.
But if I'm sitting down,
okay,
I can't have it that
awesome.
tight because then it'll like just jab into my gut and it starts hurting. Yeah. This is why I'm fat and people are like, you're not that fat, and I'm like, I am that fat, guys. I know. I have the experiences of fat people. There's no disputing it.
Like, let me live my truth.
Well,
Don't tell me about my weight.
But what I'm saying is that is the truth. If you have to wear your belt two different ways depending on what you're doing, you're fat.
Absolutely. If you have a sports mode for your belt, you're husky at least.
An objective fact, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday. Welcome to Finish the Story. I am your host, Keegan Ray. I'm joined here by my husky best friend, Mr. Trent Ludzak. How you doing, dude? Were you in Huskies as a kid?
No.
Dude, I was, and that shit crushed me at a Goodies.
Yeah.
My mom walking up and having to ask some cute cashier where the Husky section is. What are they doing to kids?
I would say I didn't start getting Husky till like late high school.
Oh, yeah. See, I had a weird...
I stayed that through the Army.
I had a real fat, like, middle school time. Yeah, I had to start it because we are keeping in the sports mode belt. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about, though.
Yeah.
The worst is when you get the underwear where your underwear, like, cuts into your side, and then at the end of the day, you have that line. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah. Got to size up a little.
Yeah. I'm out of clothes. I've noticed that, too. I have no good fucking clothes anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm either too fat or they're just shredded.
They're ragged, yeah.
Yeah, like the crotch goes, you're like, oh.
I think that's how it works as men. It's like every 4 years, you're like, oh, I have no clothes. And then you drastically change your style slightly.
Yeah.
For the next 4 years.
I've been letting it go, man. There's certain things that, like, I started looking at my toes because I'm going to the beach. I was like, I got winter toes going on, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got some talons.
Some LeBron feet?
Yeah, some not good. Where you're just like, this is embarrassing. I have to do some work on these. I got to do something. You can't go to the beach with, eagle talons.
You could.
You can. I don't need that to be my children's core memories. My disgusting feet.
Why doesn't anybody want to hang out with our family?
Yeah. I'm excited to go down because I'm going out of town. But I don't know, man. The beach seems like it's going to just be more worry than it's worth. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. It is the beach I've never been a fan of. Because it's like, I've said it on the show, I'm pretty sure. You're going to look at an incomprehensible amount of a thing. Mm-hmm. And that's really it.
I wonder if we should just let them eat the sand. Just like one time, let them get a handful and be like, didn't like that, did you?
But there's fentanyl in that.
Yeah.
In Savannah?
I got a buddy that was like, yeah, I went down to the beach. He's got a 1-year-old. And he's like, yeah, me and my child, we swam out to the sandbar. And I was like, oh, man, you got him a little kid life jacket? He goes, no. And I was like, what? Like, he hadn't even thought about it. Yeah. I was like, dude, that's crazy.
They got to learn somewhere.
Just to be swimming in the middle of the ocean, like, cool,
with
dude.
A baby.
Yeah, hang out with me on the sandbar. Like, it's not your bro. It's your child.
You carry the cooler.
And carry this extra roadie I brought, bro. Put it in your diaper.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember being a kid, and we would go out, and we would get, one boogie board, and we would just all be on it, and we would be diving down to get shells way in the ocean. Like, our parents just, waving us back in, that's crazy. Now that I have kids, I'm like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean,
I would just be on the beach getting drunk. My kid's just like a little dot. Thank Christ.
Yeah. My version of that was, with four-wheelers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we were doing. We were getting on those and getting wildly irresponsible. Like trying to find the best natural jump you could.
Yeah, just instant paralyzed. Like that thing is a...
Hey, it didn't happen to any of us.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. But if it does happen, it's fucking you up.
That's the difference between us, Keegan, is that you're beach trash.
True.
I'm four-wheeler. I'm four-wheeler trash.
I did wreck a four-wheeler. I have gotten trashy on a four-wheeler.
Well, yeah, I mean...
I am beach trash.
We can all play in each other's lanes, but I'm saying...
I'm definitely 4th of July Gulf of America trash.
If I go to the beach, I am beach trash for that time.
You strike me as tennis shoes on the beach. Have you ever done that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's the worst, dude. That's always flips me out when you see like people leave their shoes on the pier and you're like going down. It's like flip-flops, and then a pair of Jordans. You're like, what the fuck? Some socks stuffed in it. You're like, oh, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't give a shit about the beach, man.
Yeah.
Like if I have to go to the beach for like a family thing, I'm going to be sitting under an umbrella if I can, reading the entire time.
Now, that is some good reading. Beach reading fucking rules. Yeah. We got one of the pop-up things.
It's honestly maybe at the forefront of drunk reading.
Yeah.
Which is, as we both know, my favorite.
Mm-hmm. That's a good drunk, too. You don't have to go far for the cooler.
Yeah.
You got a bathroom right in front of you, an endless bathroom. An incomprehensible bathroom, you would say. That's the only time you see me going out there, just to wade next to your family. Like,
how you guys doing? Good? Just checking.
I hate when somebody tries to talk you up while you're out there pissing. You're like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Like, do you need a hug?
Yeah, let me piss in silence, man.
Yeah. I mean,
or when somebody hits the Beats pill and they start playing Kenny Chesney on the beach, that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Blasting shitty country. Nobody wants to hear Rascal Flatts.
It's hard to hear Dune, or it's hard to read Dune over that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You're just like, dude, Toby Keith fucking sucks. I'll fight you.
It's hard to think about galactic empires over.
Hey, man, I'm trying to read about the secret societies in America, motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
By the way, I had a full house. I had my sister-in-law and brother-in-law that flew down, right? Well, then I guess they were all talking on FaceTime, and my mother-in-law was like, she just drove down that night. She's like, I'm coming, dude. 10 hours be damned. She showed up the next morning at like 10:30. We're like, God damn. Did you drive through the night?
Mothers will do shit like that.
They will, especially when they see their whole family together.
As soon as you have plans, like you can't, it's impossible to make siblings plans. It can't happen. My family has tried it.
Yeah, as soon as the picture hits Facebook, wait a minute.
I'm like 50-50. My parents bought a house so that they could make that trip a housewarming party trip.
Yeah. So they're all there, right? I go to work. I'm like, I had to go to work. I was happy they're all there with kids.
Yeah.
Dude,
you don't
I
have
get
to
back,
worry about it.
and my sister-in-law went to a hotel, and they're like, oh, you missed the big discussion. I'm like, what discussion? Like, we were talking 9/11. I was like, dude, what? Oh, first,
the big discussion.
I mean, I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
That is the big discussion.
And they were like, she just believes the official narrative. And I'm like, dude, don't ever bring this up with me in the house if y'all want to have a Thanksgiving. I was like, bro, I was so glad. I've never been more glad to be at work.
Bro, you're going back on like the camera footage and listening to the conversation.
Dude, just nuking your Google search, having to show her. This is Lucky Larry. You're telling me. I would have been screaming in a living room being like, there were thermite pools. Okay, Auntie. Tell me about Building 7.
You don't know shit.
Girls, this is what we call propaganda.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, dude, don't ever bring that up. And my mother-in-law was like, well, I think it might be good, to have that conversation. She goes, I think you know more about it. I'm like, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, but I'm going to make her feel bad about it.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to get nasty. I'm going to get just real nasty. Everybody's going to be like, holy shit.
She's never coming over here again if I do this.
That'd be it. I'm like, You thought that the building's going down. That'll be our relationship, dude. We'll be a molten pool. Jet fuel will burn this bridge, bro.
The tower of this family is going to collapse in on itself.
Jet fuel's burning this bridge quick as hell. Yeah, no way. I was like, don't do that.
These ain't steel beams, lady.
Yeah, don't have me screaming about passports in the rubble.
Yeah. Also, it's your mother-in-law.
Yeah, she was.
I love you that your mother-in-law is like woke on the 9/11.
Yeah,
she
dude.
knows.
Dude, I told you my father-in-law was asking about Antarctica. They're in it, dude. It's in it. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's that's so funny. Yeah, I liked that too. I was like, damn, that rules.
Yeah.
Because nothing's worse than fighting your mother-in-law on a conspiracy.
No.
Because it's never gonna stop at 9/11. It's
No.
going to end up with me being like, do you know who Dan is? The Johnny Appleseed of the CIA America? I mean, it's just going to go wild.
Yeah.
And I'm like talking about Hollow Earth. And I mean, dude, it's not
Yeah.
going to, that's not family. Let's play Uno.
Yeah, my dad tried to hit me with the JFK stuff a few years ago. Have I told you the path on how we got there?
No.
It was the HBO pipeline to conspiracy because
this was the Netflix pipeline, the manhunt.
They did a show called White House Plumbers, a limited series.
Yeah.
And it was about the guys who did the Watergate thing and how that whole thing came to be.
Yeah.
And one of those guys worked for the CIA and may or may not have been the guy who notably on his deathbed supposedly had a confession that he was involved in the JFK assassination. And there's some weird stuff about that show where my dad was like, they said this is based on a real thing. There's no way that a plane going down is a part of this story. And then he looked it up and he's like, huh. And then 2 weeks later,
The heard around the world.
2 weeks later, he called me and he's like, watch that White House Plumber show. You know, I've been, you ever looking at this JFK thing? I'm like, yes, Dad.
Yeah. Welcome.
Yeah.
That echoes down a rabbit hole. This
The question is how far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, where are you at? You tell me where you're at. I don't want to give you any spoilers.
Yeah.
No
But-
spoilers on the JFK.
Yeah.
Who do you think did it?
I will tell you, it's like a lot of things where it just kind of hits a theme, sticks with it too much, and rolls into oblivion.
Yeah.
So once you hit the anti-Semitism, you've pretty much seen it all.
Yeah.
Because that's where it all ends. That's why I stopped getting... That's why I also think most of them are a psyop.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's funny to see... It's funny that people are just getting their minds melted on an HBO documentary.
Yeah.
Just wait a minute.
Well, it's like, that's just the thread. That's the loose thread.
But that's what I was telling him. I was like, leave her alone. I wish that I could watch a Netflix documentary about Osama bin Laden and be like, we got him. We are the good guys. You know, I wish, dude. Why do you want to take that away from her? I envy her. Like, she probably sits down and is like, hey, let's watch The Voice. And doesn't think about anything, dude. That's amazing.
I wonder who the Masked Singer is.
Yeah. That's got to be John Cena. That's a beautiful thing. I'm not mad at people for that. I'm mad somebody woke me up.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, let me slumber. Leave me in the goo. It was warm and comfortable. Plug me back in.
I mean, I am a little annoyed by it because it's like I have to live this life of, you know, everything is fake. Mm-hmm. Nothing was not at least a little orchestrated.
Yeah, let her enjoy something. Might be awesome.
Yeah, but I feel resentful about that.
Yeah.
That it's like I have to know about this shit.
I think it was my brother-in-law. I think she brought something up. He was like, well, let me tell you. Got her with the... He gets activated. He starts getting a little rowdy. He's still young, you know. He's like in his early 20s, so he still has that. I'm like, wait till they'll take that out of you. That's gonna get stomped out.
Yeah. Well,
after you see something where you're like, something's coming of this Epstein. And you're like, oh no, nothing's coming. They're all. It's like I was talking to somebody about the Abercrombie and Fitch thing, and they didn't know. I was
They
like,
didn't
dude,
know that guy was
dude.
creepy.
I mean,
That guy was, I would say, top level creepy.
bro, he had high school boys out there like it was the red light district.
Yeah, that's the
Like that. Even as a teenager, I was like, what?
Keegan. Like I said, the top level of creepy.
I mean,
It's.
I remember being a kid in high school.
By the way, I was in Minnesota. They weren't doing that where I was.
Dude, we were at the Mall of Georgia, so they were on display, and it was a big deal to get in the window. Like, those dudes were fighting to get in the window.
Yeah.
And I remember smoking weed in the
Sucking
parking
dicks
lot
to get in that window.
and went out there, bro. We died. Like, I remember being like 17 years old, like on the ground laughing in these dudes' faces while they're just standing there, just like, bro.
Why do you smell like perfume?
Oh my God. You would walk in a Hollister and smell like that for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And Hollister was like,
You didn't even need to put anything on. You just had to do a lap.
yeah, it was like a weird, rapey changing room in there. It was like pitch black. I'm like, the vibes are off in here. Like, something's happening to some adolescent child in here. This is creepy.
It felt more satanic than like the stores that my parents, like Hot Topic.
Mm-hmm.
The stores my parents would be like, no,
You
we're
can't
not-
go in there.
We're
You're
not
like,
going in there.
No, let me tell you, the real shit's going on under the mask of perfume in the Hollister changing room.
Oh yeah, this is nice.
Boy, let me tell you, Hot Topic. You want to freak out a suburban white mom? They hated it.
That's what they're made for, I
Yeah.
think.
That's what you got off to if you worked there. Like the cashier, you had Marilyn Manson playing. You're like, I'm about to fucking scare these normies. Spencer's was my favorite store, obviously.
I didn't go into a Spencer's, I think, until after I joined the Army.
Really?
Yeah.
I bet that was so fun, though. Your first time in a Spencer's. Might have been too old.
It was too old. It was.
Yeah, you might have been too old.
Because it was like I could just, at this point, walk into an actual shop that sells this stuff if I wanted.
As a 16-year-old stoned high school kid, nothing hit. That's all we had to do was the mall. The mall was a big deal because you could just go to the mall for 4 hours. And nobody was like, what were you
Walk
doing?
around.
Yeah, we were wandering around. A movie was bullshit. You only got like 2 hours, and then they were there. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
And they're asking questions about the movie. Hey, we got busted one time because we got busted not seeing a movie, but my dad was like, so how was the movie? And we're all like, oh, great. He's like, dude, you better come up with something before you get home to your mom.
Yeah. I was actually watching a lot of movies. I worked at a theater, so.
The big thing to do when I was in high school in Gwinnett County was everybody would meet at the movies, and it was just like mobbed out. And then if you could drive, it was like Dazed and Confused. The kids that could drive would just drive in a big circle and like show off their cars or their systems. This was back when systems were just blowing their hearing out.
Oh, yeah.
For no reason. 3-6 Mafia at an irresponsible level.
Yup.
Everybody getting pulled over for a tent and getting tickets.
Just being so stupid for no
So
reason.
dumb. Smoking weed with bowls and cars. Just asking for. Police are like, oh, we're definitely getting the neon lighted Maxima.
Yeah, it's like, kid, you're the only one with one of those in this town. I know where you live.
I just saw you driving 90. You're going to jail. I'm building a case.
Like, you can try and run from me, but I'll just meet you at your dad's house.
I've already found your address. I'll be there talking to your parents.
Yeah. I wasn't like that much of a troublemaker.
I never had a cool car.
The worst I would do in high school was there was a period where me and my friends, when we first could drive, we would lie to our parents and say that we were going to Wednesday night church. And then we would go to like a diner and drink coffee.
Nice. Hey, that's still cool, though. Skipping church is cool.
Smoke Swisher Sweets, but like just straight up a Swisher.
No,
Yeah.
just a Swisher?
Yeah.
So you're like...
We were
even the companies, like, they did what?
we were sheltered children.
Yeah, if we could smoke it, we tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, tried everything. The big move was this. When we were kids, we would all throw in, everybody get money to go to the movie, throw in, you get some weed, we'd smoke, like, behind the movies, and then there was a Chinese place, and we'd go in and get hot and sour soup. and just being there, the highest kids in the world. Waiter walks out like, oh my fucking God, dude. My section looks like half baked.
Also, soup.
That hot and sour. Yeah. Well, you spent most of your money on the weed. It was like half baked for real. You're like, I got $17 towards the weed. That's why the movies was out. And I was never into like sneaking into the movies.
Yeah.
I was always like, I'm not going to get away with that. Like, out of everybody that's going to get caught, it's me.
I mean, when I started working there, I could just walk the fuck in. So
That
I watched
was the move.
everything.
Yeah. The move was when you had friends that worked there, because then we started bringing in grocery bags, and they would hook us up with the popcorn.
Bro, yeah, they would sometimes, because at the end of the night, there would always be, like every couple hours, you'd rotate and make another one, just a giant bag of extra popcorn, and then you'd put it in one of the back warmers, so if it got really busy, you had like a little extra to keep up. And we wouldn't go through that like 95% of the time.
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, it was literally like if you wanted 3 pounds of popcorn popped,
Yeah.
you can have it. But because otherwise, we're just throwing this giant bag of popcorn in the trash.
Dude, I fucking love popcorn. You know what Christina
really
did when
good.
she was pregnant that I have never even thought about? She went to the movies and got a thing of popcorn and didn't go into the movies. She just went in, walked in, got a thing of popcorn, and walked out. I was like, I didn't even know that was allowed.
Why would you ever do that, though?
Because we didn't have popcorn in the house when we were driving by, and she wanted movie theater popcorn. She was pregnant, bro. There was no arguing with her. It was like, okay. I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It would be funny if she said, drop me off, I'm going to go get the popcorn, and then she just went and saw a movie.
By herself, you're like, that really hurt my feelings. Nothing is more of an affront in a relationship than when you watch like an episode of a show without the other one, dude. That is a fucking like fuck you. You're like, you already watched episode 4? Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yep.
We've been watching Andor. That's what we've been watching.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's the Star Wars. It's probably my favorite out of the Star Wars. I just don't really get into Star Wars.
No, it's hard to. When you know what it is. I mean, Jedi Survivor I played for 26 hours. And then I hit a point where I was like, this game kind of sucks dick.
The best game was the Battlefront game. That was like the big battle royale. But then it started getting where certain people could be a Jedi, and then one dude would be Darth Vader and just fuck everybody up. You're like, all right,
which Battlefront are you talking? Are you talking like the modern iterations of Battlefront?
It was like the first...
or like back in the day Battlefront?
It was like the first Star Wars game. It was for the PlayStation that I had.
Okay, original Battlefront, like as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, those 1 and 2 were both great, and 2 was the one where you got Jedi.
Yeah, that always would fucking infuriate me.
But 1 was the best.
Yeah.
And now there's that. Did you not know that there's a whole nother iteration where there's 2 newer Battlefront games?
No, dude, I'm not up on video games. I have to stay away from it. I can't even start. Like with the kids and stuff, I don't have time, and then it'll just be a fight. Because once you start a video game, you can just tone everything out.
So have you heard about this game then at all?
Schedule 1? No.
Yeah.
What is this?
You're a drug dealer. It's your first person walking around interacting with people, drug dealer, and you're trying to build your criminal empire.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
It's like one of those things where it's like gone very viral because people are
pretty
very
awesome,
into
dude.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that, I mean, you really aren't into it. For some reason, nothing is loading on Steam right now, so I can't
I just
even really
have,
show
dude.
you.
I just learned about a Steam Deck the other day.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I was like, Jesus Christ, am I gonna buy one of those? Like, my life will be over.
I'm waiting for it to hit a good enough sale.
Yeah. It's just a Game Boy on steroids.
Yeah. Well,
That's insane.
There's a few of them now. There's I mean, it's basically a Switch that doesn't have the removable sides. And I mean, it connects to Steam, and you can play like Assassin's Creed games and shit. You can play a lot on there.
Yeah.
You can play Ghost of Tsushima on there.
I don't need it.
You don't
I don't need it.
You know,
I think I would have a better time starting Coke again.
more productive.
Dude, let me tell you, there's nothing that like I don't know if it's the mom portion of it, but there's nothing that pisses her off more than watching me enjoy a game. Like with my head, as soon as I put the headphones on, I watch her whole demeanor change.
Nah, dude,
like she's just like, oh, you're gonna fuck.
I don't know. It's like women have a primal urge against fun.
Dude, I've even started
crazy.
being like, when I turn on the PlayStation, I've even like done this lie that I know she knows I'm lying when I go, I just want to see if there's an update. She's like, shut the fuck up.
And then you're 3 games in.
And then next thing you know, I'm like slowly sliding on headphones quietly.
Oh, no, I'm just going to see who's on.
Yeah. I just want to see if Mello's on.
Yeah.
I'm like texting Mello, like, send me an invite right now, but dude, please. Oh, he's Mello, send me an invite. He's on the microphone. Don't be a bitch.
Let me talk to my friends.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him on. I'm trying to get him on the podcast.
Yeah. I remember I dated a girl that was like watching me play video games. She's like, so you just sit over here like a bitch on the phone, just talk to your friends. I was like, damn.
Yeah, it's the male equivalent of that.
Yeah, exactly. Because you are playing, you're just talking.
Yeah.
Gossiping about people in the comedy scene.
Saying crazy stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's part of why I got out of online gaming, because I get vicious.
Dude. Especially, yeah, when somebody turns their mic on and they start you start battling with somebody. Yeah, Christina has seen me at my worst. She's seen me say things to people. She's like, that's not good. That's bad on you. Like, that's bad energy coming back.
It doesn't matter what he said.
That's what I always tell her. You don't hear what the fuck he's saying to me in these headphones. She's like, dude, that's... Which, let me go ahead and get into this. Somebody took me inside the other day and was like, hey, I think you've kind of lost it since you've had kids. I'm on Take 5 oil changes side. Hey, who I thought was a friend has drawn a line in the sand and took Take 5's side and was like, why didn't you just give him the address? I was like, no, man, we have to. It's a battle. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that sounds like somebody who believes that the official narrative on 9/11 to me. Honestly,
I legitimately was like, I know they're just messing with me, but I started getting worked up.
Oh, no, you can't.
Hey, let me tell you about Take 5. I'll never fucking...
You can't let it get in your head.
Dude, I saw a viral video of a guy that was battling with these oil change people because he got out of his car. And the guy freaked. I guess it's an insurance thing. You can't get out of your car.
You can't be like in the shop or whatever.
Yeah, because of insurance. But he was battling with him. And I was like, all right, that makes mine seem a lot more tame. Because this dude was battling with everybody in the shop. At that point, you got to just leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, once people pull out cameras, you got to just roll.
Yeah.
Because now, no matter what,
you're
half of everybody at least is going to think you're a dickhead.
Mm-hmm. Nothing is worse than when you lose your cool and you're just like, the embarrassment starts setting in before you've left. You're like, oh, man. Like, you immediately start backtracking like, dude, my bad. Mm. I lost it at Kennesaw State campus one time on a parking gate.
Oh, yeah.
I like pulled in, was going to go drop a test off, right? Because my professor sent me an email and was like, I didn't get your thing. I was like, oh my God, I forgot we had to turn it in today. Dude, I was in my bow tie from Pervino's and was like, I got to go turn this paper in. I'll be right back. He's like, all right, I'm going, pull into the parking. I look at the dude. I go, is it cool to park in here? I'm going to run right in and do the thing. He goes, yeah, man, totally cool. I get out of my car, run up to my professor, turn it in. I come down. The dude is putting a boot on my car.
Ooh, dude. The same guy?
I fucking lost it. I just lost it on like I looked at him like, bro, you're not only are you an asshole, you're a fucking liar. Like you just fibbed to my face. It got so bad. He was like, I don't know what to tell you, bro, and went and hid in his little booth. I was like banging on the window, dude.
Oh, shit.
It was so bad. I got called into the principal's office at college, which I didn't even know they had.
They have one?
Yeah, I was like, I got a phone call, and they're like, hey, your behavior is unacceptable.
I thought the dean just had like a drinking lounge or something.
Yeah, I was like, who the fuck is this? Oh, my bad. So I had to go to the principal's office. And you think like you're like, damn, I might have lost it. When you watch yourself on CCTV, you're like, yeah. They're like, hey, man,
hurts.
this is a full-blown meltdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I just came in there and was like, hey, I was at work.
Yeah.
I was throwing the money. I was like, is it about the money? Like, then I came back into work like 2 hours late. Just like, where the fuck have you been? I'll kill you.
The worst shift of your life.
Oh, dude. First table to be like, hey, the spaghetti I ordered, man, I'll fucking strangle you.
Do you want to fight me right now?
Yeah, dude, put your hands up. I don't want to punch an old man. We were at the brewery and everything went down on Sunday.
Wait.
Just broke. Like the chiller went down. None of the beer would pour. None of the pressure. That is the worst feeling.
At what point do you just shut it down? You're like, we can't serve our product properly.
I kept saying, are we leaving? Like, what are we doing? It felt like you were in a sinking ship. And you just like, people would come up and be like, so you don't have any beer.
Yeah.
Like I'm in control of this.
Yeah.
Like, then the next day we thought he got fixed. No, nobody fixed it. Beer was pouring hot. So it's like hot beer.
Yeah.
The first 10 people. This one lady made such a big deal about it. The guy behind her put a 20 in the tip jar and was like, I'm sorry you have to deal with that. That's how bad it was.
Whoa.
That's how bad that lady was. I was listening to it because it was the dude next to me on the computer, and I was like, better man than me, because I would have fucking thrown this hot beer in this lady's face. She kept going, man. What are we in Germany? Like, shut up. Because I thought at first she was talking about the Holocaust. I was like, it is not that serious. The dude I was working with was
hey,
like,
the train here is never on time.
I was like, what is she comparing this to? Like,
yeah.
And he was like, no, she was saying like European warm
Yeah,
beer. I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't say what I was thinking.
That's the most fun is when you hold back a joke because you're not sure it's gonna hit. And then later you're like, wow, I almost nuked an entire relationship.
Yeah, that might have been the end of my job. The old Yelp review. He said something to the effect of...
He said something about the Holocaust for no reason.
Yeah, if this was Germany...
He made an Anne Frank joke.
Yeah. He said something about her writing in ballpoint pens. I'm not sure. I didn't like it, though.
And then he insulted my Volvo.
Yeah, I was like, it's just one of those things where you're like, what are you doing? Either get the beer or don't get the beer.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
But right now, it's going to be warm.
Yeah. It is what it is. A guy was like, hey, come here, man. And like told me like it was a secret. Hey. The beer's warm. You don't say it. The first 20 people haven't shouted it in my face.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
I mean, at that point, you got to just tell them up front. You got to be like, hey, it's going to be warm right now.
That's exactly. I just started being like, it is what it is. If you want a cocktail, I'll give you that. I'll give you ice. I'll do whatever you want to just shut up. Here's a free bumper sticker. Please leave me alone. And then one dude in the middle of the chaos comes up. He's like, can I get a flight? I was like, are you fucking shitting me? I'm like, you whispered it because you know you're wrong.
Yeah.
You know you're wrong. Read the room. No, you cannot. Welcome to Germany. I'm shutting it down. Like, this is crazy, dude.
That's like when I was a delivery guy at a pizza place in Minneapolis and we ran out of dough.
Oh, my God.
But that's nice because it's like, we're open till 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's 8. And you're talking to like you slip into the kitchen and you hear somebody yell. They're like, 15. And I'm like, what? 15 what? And they're like, 15 dough balls left in the store. And I'm like, oh, it's only 8.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get to close early. And then we did. It was beautiful. But like to have a countdown, that's like a rare thing at work. To be like, I leave on a delivery and then I come back and it's like, okay, we're down to 6.
Yeah.
I bet one more delivery and I come back and we'll be out of dough. And then, yeah, it was the best.
That was a big thing at the barbecue place because it's made to run out. If you're running out, you're doing it right. You don't want to have a bunch of barbecues because they do it every day. But dude, I never liked telling people we were out of stuff. I worked with people that like got off to that. Like, can I have the brisket? No, you can't. You're like, damn, why do you do a high pleasure from that?
Get here early.
Yeah, dude, you're like, why? I'm not that guy. I'm like,
yeah.
Let me check. Let me see.
Well, that's like movie theaters. Everybody who works at a movie theater wants to be involved in kicking people out.
Yeah.
Like, if the usher needs to kick somebody out, he goes to the concession stand, to the box office, tells everybody, and then usually at least a couple people that are working there will be like, let me come hang with you.
Who's having a rough day?
Let's crew up and kick these motherfuckers out. Yeah.
Who's having a not great day? Come with me. You get to kick them out. Yeah, I saw those viral videos. I never brought this up with you. Of the Minecraft where everybody's throwing the popcorn. The first thing I thought was, what about the people who work there?
I mean, the Justin Bieber movie was my time for that because that came out when I was working at a theater.
Oh, I thought you meant that was your movie you went to.
No,
I was like,
no.
whoa, dude.
No.
Didn't see that coming. You're a Bieber?
No, I was working at the theater. Yeah, oh my God. Bro, one girl, we had to call...
in pigtails with your shirt down.
We had to call an ambulance because one girl passed out from excitement in the theater.
Oh, my God.
Like, just freaked
like
out.
Beatles. It's fucking a Justin Bieber movie.
So that's was
a mental illness.
An unbelievable amount of popcorn on the floor. Because it's just like preteen girls...
That was before TikTok, too.
I can't control my body because I'm losing my shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like that? Have you ever gotten that excited? That you just, like, when you watch the videos of the Beatles and you see people falling out, I'm like...
Not sober.
True. I can think of one time in my life is when we went to the wrestling event and it was Stone Cold Steve Austin and he slammed The Rock into the beer cart.
Yeah.
Chugged 2 beers. I remember being a kid standing on my chair and just screaming. Like I was howling at the moon. Just, like, dude, that is a time. It was Beatles mania for me.
Okay.
It was Raw is War.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever hit that level of.
You never hit one at like a show in a mosh pit? Just get a good clean.
But the difference is that the whole thing with a mosh pit is that if the band is doing it well, whether you like the band or not, that's what you're doing.
Okay.
That's that primal rage thing is what that is.
Yeah. Tapping into
it's the event.
Berserker, dude. You are a Viking at that point.
Just, yeah. Pretty fun, though.
That is fun.
I mean, we missed a show last week. We could have gone to see friend Ryan at 529.
That would be a good place to see a show. Yeah. Well, that's a real, like, you know what I mean? That would feel like a hardcore show.
Yeah.
You know, like a little hole in the wall, dirty bathroom. That's a bar. That's a place where the bartenders are mean.
529?
Yeah, just one of those, like, Eastland Village where you like walk up, you're like, I better know exactly what I'm getting. It better not be a Manhattan.
Yeah, the Saturday open mic bartender, pretty nice.
Nice.
I went to Star Bar for the first time last night.
How was that?
Cool.
Star Bar's cool.
Yeah, I didn't realize it really is perfectly set up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just layout-wise, everything. That was a place I got the vibe that the bar, like, you got to know what you want.
Mm-hmm. So when I first went to Star Bar, it was like standing room only. It was before the pandemic. So it was fucking packed out. And the first time I went, I was tripping. And I remember the bouncer, the door guy, was one of the scariest people I've ever seen on LSD. And it took me 3 different times to walk in. I like walked up and he like made eye contact with me and I was like, like went and bummed a cigarette and was like, okay, all right, he's going to want to see my ID. Like,
I should get that out and ready. I should have it in my hand.
By the time I walked off, I was just like, I'm 24. I'm 24, dude.
And he just like nodded at you,
he didn't
like
even think about me one time. He's like,
doesn't care.
Yeah, that was when the big thing at Star Bar was you could smoke inside.
Yeah.
So it was smoky as shit in there. Standing room, I was like, whoa. Yeah, that place rips. That would be a cool
Yeah.
place to shoot like a special. You know what I mean? To do like a 20
Yeah.
minute.
I mean, fucking Andy Sanford did it.
Mm-hmm.
A
That's what I
decade
mean.
ago.
That's a cool place to shoot. That's a cool room. What else? Oh, dude, Laughing Skull. R.I.P.
Yeah.
to Laughing
Yeah.
Skull. Rest in peace. No matter how you feel about it.
Well, here's the thing that I find interesting about it,
Mm-hmm.
and
Do tell.
I want to see where it goes. I remember in Marshall's post about it, he says the new Vortex owners are planning on continuing comedy themselves. But then he's also going to try and start something else of his own.
I saw that he was going to try to start something else. I was
That's like the part that
interesting.
I've heard nobody else mention about that post is everybody's like, yeah, Marshall's going to try to do something else. But it's like, but apparently those people are going to keep trying to do it.
I mean, it'd be crazy not to, right? With that room. I mean, what else would you do? If they do improv, I swear to God.
Ooh.
I swear to God, dude.
Bro, that room's going to get firebombed if
Yeah.
they start doing improv. That's...
You're like on stage doing improv. Everybody thinks you're joking. I'm about to burn this place down. They're like, scary. Arson. Holy shit, he's really doing it.
Nobody shouted out arson tonight.
Nobody said that. What is he doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be it, Travis. Did you ever really, you ever see any shows there? Did you see any shows at Laughing Skull? The
Never
best
once.
show I got to see there was Ron White.
Yeah, see, but since I moved here, they haven't had something like that. Period.
Yeah, he was doing a show at the Fox Theater
Yeah.
and just did like dude, he was still had his papers laid out. And at one point he was like shifting through his papers with his feet. And that's when he was still drinking. He goes, toenails? What the fuck is that? And I was like, this rules. Like watching a famous comedian
Yeah.
like work it out in a room. Like he started his story and was like, that ain't. That's nothing. Like I don't
This
even remember.
sucks.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying.
Yeah.
Because it's, watching that was cool because I was like, damn, he still practices for like the Fox Theater.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you'd have to. You have to practice somewhere. You got to bomb somewhere.
But like, when's the last time you heard about somebody that big doing Skull, you know?
It's been a while.
It's been since before the pandemic, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I've never had much of a connection to the Skull. None of the booking people have expressed enough interest for me to put any time in there. So, I don't know. I'm pretty neutral on it.
I saw Anthony Davis was lighting up Facebook.
Ooh, he was going for it.
I love that he tagged him. He called him racist and then tagged him.
Yeah.
And then proceeded to put on his fucking boxing gloves and go to war in the comments. Like, it wasn't even like a day response. It was like 2 minutes later, he had like, you bitch. I was like, dude,
I mean,
so funny.
we've all had nothing to do for a whole afternoon, you know?
Yeah.
That's
you
what
know
he
I'm
chose to
gonna
do.
And you know on this isn't Reddit. You're on Facebook. I know exactly who you are. I did a show
Yeah.
with you. You little Facebook bitch.
Mothers and grandmothers are going to be seeing this.
Yeah, you're getting flamed. Or if your fucking family tries to come to help you,
Oh, my.
you're like, please, these are black belts.
That's
These-
part of why I don't really post
that's
on
worst
Facebook
case
much,
scenario.
because it's like, I mean, if comments ever go sideways on something, it's like I can ignore it. I don't give a fuck. Comment mean on this. I dare you.
Yeah, I worry about it now with my Instagram, with the one that we had go viral.
Yeah.
I've gotten a lot of people following my page, and I'm like, fuck, should I be private? It's never mattered before.
Yeah.
It's never
But
mattered.
like my Instagram, my Facebook is where all my family is. My
Yeah.
Instagram, my family knows that you can follow me there if you would like. And if you see something that you don't like, that's not my problem.
Right. Yeah, you're like, Facebook, I'll keep it somewhat.
Yeah. Facebook is, because like, I have distant enough relatives that it's like, I don't need you to see some of this if you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But man, just going to war on Facebook is such a crazy idea to me.
Yeah, dude. It's
Like that's the home front, you know? Like he's fighting a war.
yeah. I could see it though after at like a couple of beers, sitting in a bar by yourself. You like put your book down, like here we go, here we go. As soon as they start, your phone starts lighting up. You're like, oh yeah, let me see your profile. Start digging in. That is a choice. You can battle or just not read them.
Yeah, I'd rather
it's
not
coming.
read them.
Our time is coming. If this podcast continues going the way that it's going, we've gotten a few. That one dude was very upset about Detroit. That tickled me.
I forgot about that. No, I mean, I don't give a shit.
Yeah. No, but I know. I'm just saying, it's definitely
Because here's what you guys don't know. Pull back the curtain a little bit. I don't like what I'm doing.
yeah.
I assume most people aren't gonna.
Yeah. You think you can make me feel worse about myself?
Yeah.
You think you can? Good luck.
Good luck.
37 years, I've been awful to myself.
Yeah. So,
I had to go get my suit for this wedding. Bro, I am not a suit guy.
Bow tie and all?
The bolo tie is an issue.
Or the bolo tie,
This has been an issue. We've gotten
Wait.
7 different texts. It's like, don't forget your bolo tie. Then why did you give them to us? What?
Give it to me on the day.
Yeah. That should have been. I feel like that's one of those things they're realizing and they're just like, oh my God. And then the fucking best man sends a text back. He's like, I got my jacket. It doesn't fit. And everybody in the group text is like, how is that possible? He's like, oh, I just gave him my measurements from another wedding. You're like, why would you do that? And I'm like reading it and he's like, so I have to get a jacket in Savannah. I'm like, why are you telling him this? Like this should be, I would be at the place in Savannah like, oh yeah, I got mine last week. Like why? It's unnecessary worrying.
Weddings are, I mean, what a nightmare. I got lucky at the last one I did. Yeah.
This is the last. There's nobody in my life important enough to be at one now. I'm done.
Yeah.
I might not even do mine. Like this is
skip out.
Yeah, I'm over it.
I'll help fund. I'll chip in for a party, but only if I don't have to go.
Even then, it's like, what are we doing? You know, like when you start looking at the kids, that's what really changed. 'Cause I didn't want to get married before that, but now I'm like, what do I spend $10,000 to let my friends come and put our families in the same room? Yeah, hammered and watch them fight about 9/11. Like, what are we doing?
Dude, that's honestly, you should make your whole wedding about getting this lady straight on 9/11. Like just
we do the cake and I just have like a little fucking cake plane. I'm like, yeah, like 8:27, doing the official timeline. Well, it's not possible.
Well, here's the thing: this is a way you can push it off on other people because you can stack the deck. You know, like get me in there, get my dad in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like stack the deck, get Aaron Odom in there.
I like
get some guys in there who can over the course of the night have several screaming match discussions with this lady on the same topic.
That will vary in intensity as the open bar continues. I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I could slide in some conspiracy talk into my vows.
Ooh, or just like small references, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, you know, I had so many walls built up, but they came down like Building 7.
Just start making Freemason references.
Dude,
you're doing Masonic codes in your vows.
And it was at 3:33 that I knew. No, have you been keeping up with this Diddy trial? Man, I haven't really been keeping up with
I assume
much.
all the good stuff is going to get to me one way or another.
One of the things that I didn't know was Cassie was doing all the freak-offs, right? That's Diddy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Her now husband is in the courtroom listening to federal testimony of the freak-offs. Like,
Whoa.
Dude, you're in there listening to them talk about multiple men pissing in your now wife's mouth. Like, That's crazy to me. I mean, even if you're cool, it's like, that's really...
I mean, that guy's done ayahuasca or something.
I mean, that's to be unbothered. It's crazy. I'd be like, all right, an objection. Sir, you can't object from the object. Jesus.
Sir, you know you don't actually have to be here.
I don't need to know how many times she came. All right, this is outrageous. And then they were talking about Kid Cudi was talking about that Diddy, I guess, firebombed his car. But in his official statement, he goes, well, did you see Puff Daddy? He's like, yeah, he was crouched over like a supervillain. Talking about he Molotov cocktailed his car because he was dating Cassie. He is the Joker. He set his car on fire and did something to the dog. Like broken.
Hold on.
They don't know. The dog was different. Kid Cudi was like, yo, he broke into my house and my dog was different. You hope he kicked it. You hope he didn't get diddling to your dog.
I think he probably was diddling with
Kid
the dog.
Cudi was just sitting on his couch like, what the fuck did he do to you, dude?
Now I got a new dog.
You like take your pants off to take a dump. The dog's whimpering. You're like, what happened to you?
Man, that's not cool.
Man, really the big takeaway is don't ever text people things that you are not ready to have read in front of a jury of your peers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that shit comes out quick.
I have made that mistake many times. But
because what you might, imagine the group chats. What you think is funny is like not going to sound funny when the prosecutor's reading it. You're like, no, but he has to do the accent or it's not funny. No. He has to do the voice, dude.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that my stuff is mostly like, I think what keeps me safe is that when I say something crazy on a text message, it's usually such a overt and crazy threat of violence in such a specific way that unless the person happens to die in some sort of like unicycle related incident, I'm probably going to be off the hook. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting weird and specific enough about this.
God, could you imagine something happens on a unicycle? You're like, what are the odds, dude? I'm going to jail. But, I mean, I don't know. I've been watching that trial, though. Just like, nothing's coming of this.
No.
Nothing's coming of this. And
yeah.
What's even crazier is that guy that shot up the Trump Hotel way long ago, that John that said he was the sex slave, all the shit that guy said in the interview is coming to light. Like, everybody that thought that guy was schizophrenic and talking crazy, it's like that guy has been dead on about everything, which is crazy. Because I remember when that came out and I was like, I kind of believe that dude. And then you read everybody and you're like, am I schizophrenic?
Yes.
Don't you hate that? You're like reading conspiracies and shit. You're like,
so I stopped doing it.
I can't. I have to have something. I'm not drinking. I'm not doing drugs. I got to have something. I need a little sweet treat for my brain, bro.
Video games.
Something.
Video games.
Video games is too intense. It's just, I can do
conspiracy
Apex.
theories aren't?
I can do Apex. I get lost. Video games, time doesn't matter. You go into a time warp. You can play what you think. I would love to have somebody play video games and be like, how long have you been playing? You have no idea. You're like, an hour? It's been 6. It's fucking Wednesday. What? I don't know how many times I've been playing video games. You're like, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah. I pretty regularly don't get to bed until way later than I should because I just lose track of time.
And you feel like a dickhead when you're tired at work. You're like, I have no self-control. I'm losing control of my life.
Yeah. I've started setting alarms for video games.
Oh, to let you know?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So it's like, this is the absolute most time I can reasonably play tonight.
That's a good idea. That's responsible. I just have an angry fucking girlfriend. That about an hour and a half. That's your alarm? Yeah, about an hour and a half. She's over it, dude.
Your alarm runs more on vibes.
Yeah, every time she comes in bitching, I go, you're on mic and they don't think you're cool. She's like, yeah, well, fuck them.
Ooh, yeah, that's got to hit her a little bit though, right?
Yeah. They say you're nagging. Yeah. There's nobody on there. Everybody's muted.
They're on my side, actually.
What was that? Yeah, She is a crazy bitch. He said it, not me.
Yeah.
It's like, Keegan, you're on the pause screen. You're playing Ghost of Tsushima. This is not an online game.
You've been playing Guitar Hero.
You've been playing Rock Band, and you woke the babies up twice.
You insist on playing the drums every time.
Dude.
Dude, solo Rock Band drums.
Tough look.
Peak of gaming, honestly.
Tough look, though.
No, peak gaming.
No, it's fun when you're playing them. But have you ever seen a video of you
Yeah,
playing
it
Rock
looks
Band?
the
A
worst.
tough look, dude. You feel so cool when you're playing Rock Band. You're like, ding it, like Guitar Hero. You're like slamming it, dude. When you watch a video, I've told somebody to get a video of me. I'm like, video me killing this song, and then I see the video. I'm like, burn that, dude. Actually, give me your phone.
Yeah,
I'm
give
gonna
me your
break
phone.
it. You look so gay. Like, it's every time. It's just,
Yeah.
and your faces you make.
The only worst one was Dance Dance Revolution.
Holy.
Which, by the way, we had a pad at home.
You had the home pad?
Yeah.
It gets intense.
It gets a lot.
When you
yeah.
start sweating from it.
a lot, almost daily for probably 2 years of my life.
Damn, really?
Oh, yeah.
You were in there.
I was in there.
Can you still do it? You think you can still bust
Fuck
it out?
no.
I think you could. It's still in there somewhere dormant.
I don't think.
Because let me
could.
tell you, you had the Buck Hunter on lock, dude. You hadn't played it in how long? You were busting them, dude.
But then, did you notice it went downhill? Like on
Yeah.
the first one, I crushed it.
You can't think about
I did
it. You just have to
perfect.
be in the moment.
And then it just every round I did worse and worse until it was basically just a race to the bottom between me and you.
And I'm just bucking on them does, dude. I was bucking on them, blasting them. Dude.
Yeah.
That's funny. That
You hate with female deer.
Yeah, you're like, I kind of have a thing against them. I don't know. Steep seated. All right, we did it.
We
Got
did.
anything to promote?
The Shed, June 14th.
June 14th, The Shed.
Follow ShedX2 on Instagram. That has all the information.
Yeah.
We got some banger episodes coming up here.
We got some good guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. So we got guests booked
good
out.
answer on June 7th. I forgot.
Good answer on
Helium
June 7th.
Comedy Club. I think that's it.
I am officially working on 2 ads. We're going to work with maybe 2 local companies. So hopefully by the next episode, we'll be able to announce it. But I'm working on something with them. So, yeah, man.
Whoo.
I started doing stand-up again, got to eat a bomb of helium. So your
Yeah,
boy's back,
you
baby.
sure did.
Ate a bomb, felt alive. Was like, wow, I am embarrassed to be here.
You're
That
like,
feeling is back. I'm
Yeah.
back. I'm a comedian. I
Yeah.
want to kill myself.
Yeah.
I'm back, baby.
Welcome back into the
I
fold.
bombed in front of one of my childhood heroes. Awesome, dude.
Wait, who did you bomb in front?
Sean Weiss. I was
Oh, yeah.
huge Mighty Duck.
Yeah.
When I went to
Yeah.
Disney World, we stayed in the Mighty Duck thing.
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Quack, quack, quack. I almost did that. I almost, in the middle of the bomb, just wanted to start going quack, quack, quack. It just but I was like, if that didn't hit,
If it doesn't hit, it's like
I would never get on. He would never come on the podcast.
it's like the bit that I want to run at Helium. I've told you about this, correct?
Yes.
It's if that doesn't hit,
Yeah.
it's you have set yourself up to bomb for the entire rest of
Yeah.
however long you have, for sure. No recovery.
I really liked too at the open mic that the girl that went before me, won't say her name, but she just casually slid in that anti-Semitic fucking, and I was like, I don't think she realizes what she's saying.
I don't think
She was like, Mormons have been kicked out of countries, and so have the Jews, about 109. I was like, whoa, dude. It was like a throwaway line in her joke, and I was like, yikes, bro. People, I just thought it was funny that
That's
she was
comedy.
like, she was just, she's like, no. A nice man told me that.
I mean, we've all accidentally said slurs on stage.
You're like, I had no idea the Aboriginals are that touchy.
That's the arc of comedy. Is first you say it not knowing it's a slur, and then you avoid saying it because it's a slur, and then you transcend the slur.
Then I made you say it with your brain. Joke's on you. You're racist. All right, we did it. Later.
Did it.